I would like to introduce, if you can start introduce in 1 minute about yourself. Audience may be knowing and may know everyone or may not be knowing. If you can introduce yourself in a brief introduction.
Hi. Audible?
Yes, audible.
I'm Advocate Dr. Prashant Mali. I practice in Bombay High Court, and my areas of practice are tech law, that is cybercrime, AI, IPR related laws. And we also do compliance related work and DPDPA and data privacy, etc.
Thank you. Pawan.
Yeah, hi. Good evening, everyone. So official introduction is already given by the announcer, so I will not touch on that. I will talk about my personal introduction that apart from this, I do some philosophical work and are involved in educating many NGOs on the cybersecurity side and trying to bring them, trying to come up with the latest trends and what they should be doing to stay protected. Love playing cricket and getting involved in other activities. No, not that one.
Great. Dr. Samir.
Hi everyone, this is Samir Shah. Very good evening to all of you. I'm a partner with Ernst & Young. Ernst & Young India. I also lead privacy services for Ernst & Young India, and overall about 25 years I specialize in privacy, and the flavor of the season is DPDPA. So along with Prashant and so many of us are also practicing in that area as well.
Wonderful.
Good evening, myself Bhaskar. I'm a CISO of Bharat Bank, and I look after the security landscape of the bank. Thank you.
Hi everybody, I'm Ritesh Bhatia, and I'm a cybercrime investigator and an incident response specialist. So after all these, your security tools and all have failed, that is the time when the board decides to call me in, and my major job is basically to contain the incident, then even negotiate with the hackers, find the data, and so on. Rest while we speak.
So yeah, everything we have to navigate the frontiers of emerging technologies. When you are talking about the theme, here we are not going to do any panel discussion. So when you talk about emerging technologies, it explores AI, blockchain, quantum computing, and IoT in industry transformation. It emphasizes the strategic approach of innovation, efficiency, and cybersecurity. Today, all the 5 experts, they are going to solve the 5 different case studies, the problem, the burning topic. So we have discussed among us who is going to take the first. So let me start with Advocate Dr. Prashant Mali. Dr. Mali, there is a problem everybody is witnessing, how the stock market frauds are going on. If you can throw some light, how to solve this problem? You have to solve the problem in 5 minutes.
Yeah, okay.
You can go to stage also if you want.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
So to solve this problem of stock market app fraud is solving the problem of greed. And I am not a god to solve the problem of greed. it is there, and it will always be there till the human being exists. So stock market app fraud is a current big reality where people are losing crores of rupees. And the most affected, which is not most oftenly talked, are senior citizens. Senior citizens in India are supposed to be the richest across the world. They have a lot of corpus. They have money, retirement money, investment money, then the money which they pull from their sons and daughters. So, काफी पैसा होता है उनके पास. So, that money is targeted using sophisticated AI and other techniques, and money is pulled from them, via luring them into WhatsApp or Instagram related things. The problem comes when the money is gone, which the person is giving by the person is giving by himself. getting that money is an issue. What are the issues? Issues are when you go to police, I shouldn't talk about police, right? Or the filing, if you want to rank police officers in India or across the world, then in India, they will, across the world, they'll rank number 1 in not filing the FIR. So that is another case. So going to police becomes an issue. Once the money is lost, getting the money is a biggest issue because the money is not gone here in India. India, it is only Mule accounts. It has gone abroad. So it has gone to various countries. So that's another issue. So what is the problem? What can be the solution? So because he asked for the solution. Solution is, one point you should always remember, that no one is able to give you so easily an investment which increases more than the market standard. And first of all, you should remember that when you start losing money, you should talk to somebody. What the solution is talking to somebody. What these victims are doing is they don't talk till they lose lakhs of rupees. Now let me tell you very frankly, my brother also lost it. So he lost 37 lakhs and then he tells me. So there was no issue. 37 lakhs, the cases I am handling, 37 lakhs is nothing. That's what how I saw to him. Okay, 37 lakhs, acha. So because I had 25 crores, a person, a lady has lost 25 crores. And these are all educated people. I'll just quickly tell you what is modus operandi so you don't fall into the problem. Modus operandi is very simple. They will send you a random SMS aega aapko. You'll get an SMS, WhatsApp message, Instagram message, Facebook message or an email message saying that this script or this stock has increased so much fold. See, now this message will again start coming. Market has started going up. Now, so they'll immediately say that this is a chance where you invest, but we can give you many fold returns, and these people have joined the group. So the moment you join the group, WhatsApp group, Instagram group, Telegram group, etc., there'll be people there who will say that they have earned a lot of money. They'll start talking to each other. Now, who are these people? They are the people of the fraudsters only. They start luring you in that this much amount of money you can earn. Don't fall for the trap. Such groups, please don't join. Such WhatsApp groups, such Instagram message, just delete, forget them, block and report them. That's the best way to, this is the solution also to protect other people. So when you get such kind of message, not only block them, report them so that these phones, these WhatsApp numbers, they don't follow, spread this kind of frauds. So very important. Now you have this government portal, Sanchar Sathi is a portal which is there. Go and report the name and number. So the number gets blocked and further the fraud doesn't perpetrate further. Okay, so this could be one. Yep. And the moment, last thing is, the moment you know that the money is not coming back, the fraud has happened, report to 1930. I repeat, report to 1930. I know there will be people who have problems with 1930, but there are more people who have, because reported on 1930, got the money, whichever is blocked, whatever is blocked, back. So immediately call 1930 and try to freeze the target account and then later approach the court or to the police to get the money back. Okay, so, and that is the only hope. Only the freezed amount you are going to get back. Okay, so that's the solution. That rest money you can get when the police arrest other people. I go to Delhi, Chennai, Hyderabad, there are people who have lost money. They come in groups and attack me, saying that हम लोग group बनाया, हमको पैसा वापस चाहिए. File some case in some high court. There are groups here in Mumbai also. They every 2 weeks they'll keep calling me, sir, let us file a case in Bombay High Court. We'll pay your fees. But paisa मांगोगे किससे? Whom to ask money from? Banks are not going to give you because it was not bank fault. You gave the money to him. So there is no court solution. When can you get money back? If the people are caught, which are there abroad. Okay, so perpetually you're not going to get money. Only the money which is freeze, chances are more. When the person is arrested, his property is sold, chances are more. But then you never know whether these are mule accounts and people who don't have money at all. So in India, getting money back gets very difficult. Isliye don't fall prey to greed. That's my last solution. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prashant. Now everyone is aware of the Act, DPDP Act. Every company, organization, they have to comply the data privacy. On this backdrop, so we have a problem like how company to comply their privacy. So there is a topic called privacy by design is essential for the organization. Do you think the privacy by design is essential for the organizations? Let's talk to Pawan Chawla.
So privacy by design, definitely it's one of the key pillar for an organization to have been adopted. And it's not a new concept. This is a concept which came in 1990s, introduced by Dr. Ann. She was the, I think, commissioner in Canada, and looking into the privacy aspect
Mike,
itself.
you can take mic little fast.
Am I audible?
Yes, now you're
That is
audible.
better. Okay. So this came at that point in time, and since then it has been introduced, and organizations have started adopting it. It stands on 7 key pillars. So it starts with the principle of privacy, that it has to come as a thought within the organization, and the customer interest has to be kept in mind first. Because beyond, once you have that concept in mind, then only you can design privacy, your journey towards the privacy. Otherwise, there will be gaps and there will be loopholes which will not be addressed. Second, you need to be very transparent and bring in visibility. You need to tell your customers that for what purposes the data is being collected and for what purpose it will be used. If you don't bring in that transparency, there will be challenges and there will be gaps, and you will have challenges in adopting and implementing the same as well. The other principle is end-to-end security. When you are building an application, you have to ensure that the encryption is there in end-to-end. It cannot be that you put it in a one end and leave it at the other end. And the most classic example here may be that data may not be important for one function because they are dealing in day and out. You need to explain them the importance of it and then ensure that they put security controls on top of it. Otherwise, there will be, you will live in between. Excels are the biggest culprit here, where the data has been shared. So you need to tell them that how to protect the data in those Excels. If you don't do that, there will be multiple copies lying in the organization with multiple people, and you will never be able to track them, right? The other piece is the privacy embedded in the design cycle itself. Ensure that when a thought process has come and when there is a product which is getting embedded or you're adopting it, privacy has to be kept in mind. I generally talk about one other piece is you need to always think from privacy different from protection. They cannot be merged together, but they supplement each other. Wherever there is privacy, the protection has to be there, right? Then privacy by default has to be thought through. It is very important that privacy, if you do not have privacy, do not think of privacy by default. The product may not come, or the solution which you are going to adopt may not come in that way in which you are planning to adopt, because then there will be no transparency and you will not have encryption embedded in it. The last piece is the proactive approach rather than the reactive approach. You have to keep that in mind and then move forward accordingly. I'll give you 2 classic examples here. We have seen privacy, it's there in the public domain. The 2 big companies which are there who have practiced, one who has not practiced privacy and second who has practiced privacy. Let's take an example which had happened in 2018 general election in US. Facebook. The data was used to check the behavior, to analyze the behavior of the users, and that led to somebody winning the election as well. It has been talked about, it is there in the public, and after that many controls has been implemented. The second company I want to talk about is Apple, because they have privacy by design which is implemented in the product cycle itself, and we all know how privacy is important for them. And that's how you can embed that in the system. If you follow these principles, the rules will be there and you will have a better product and the controls implemented in the organization.
Thank you, Pawan. So now over to Samir. As we know that there is a rapid growth of digital services. When the growth of digital services, there is a growing concern is also there. With the help of AI Gen I, the contents are getting generated multifold. With this concern, how we are going to solve this problem?
So I think 5 minutes solving this problem, maybe.
Okay, we'll give you 7 minutes.
We can make a start here. Growth of digital services, and obviously when we are talking about growth of digital services, this is growth of data as well, along with that. Growth of digital data and as you spoke about, gigabytes and terabytes of data. And all of us were very, very happy with that. Lot of data, lot of leads from that, lot of patterns, behaviors, and life was slightly easy with so much of data. And then there is a spoiler, DPDPA, right, which is Digital Personal Data Protection Act. And few months back, we also had draft rules, which says that you cannot keep the data beyond after the specified purpose for which data is obtained. You cannot keep that. If you want to keep and use that data, you need to have consent for that. For everything you do on that data, whether cross-sell, upsell, sharing of that data with anyone else as well, within the group, outside of the group, all that needs to be consented. If you do not have consent and if you continue processing, that is equivalent to data breach. Fine is 200 crores Indian rupees, which is enough incentive for all of us to look at how to solve this problem. We want to keep data, we want to grow, and we want to obviously continue the way we are using data. And concern is there could be a compliance risk with DPDPA. Concern is there could be a reputational risk. If there is data breach, no company would like their name to appear on the first page that so many millions or billions of records got leaked. There could be a financial risk. There would be a risk of losing customer trust and confidence on you. If your company's name appears every other day in the newspaper, obviously, given a choice, customer may or consumer may choose to go to some other company rather than your company. So these are all the concerns and all the risks. And how to solve that? There are so many things, and both of them learned speakers and professionals. They spoke about a lot of things, and all those things are definitely part of the solution. But if I were to summarize, I can summarize that into 5 key areas which you can look at. That could be a solution for any company for complying with overall privacy requirements, building customer trust, and obviously one of the side benefit would be compliance with the DPDPA as well, and DPDP rules as well, as and when it is finalized. So what are these 5 things? First of all, understanding footprint of personal data in your organization. And how do you do that? There is something known as data discovery. There are data discovery solutions, automated solutions, manual solutions available. This is to understand where personal data is in your organization, which servers, which data lakes, which machines, and discovery will lead you to classification. Once you classify the data, you can have all the controls which we spoke about. You can configure your DLPs, you can configure your DRM solutions, you can configure your SOCs or all the solutions once you understand where the personal data is and you classify that. So that's the first thing, understand the entire blueprint of personal data in your organization. Since if you do not know where personal data is, where the problem is, you cannot solve for that. So that's the first part. Second part, very quickly, is minimize that. Because we were never, or rather at this point also, we are not comfortable deleting even a single record. So looking at all the files, we may have accumulated data over last many, many years, 10, 20, 30, the day digitization started, I think we would have kept everything in archival tapes and so many other things. And minimizing that, the things which are not required, things which are not in line with the DPDPA requirements in terms of not data which is not consented, data which is not used anymore. Remove all of that, get rid of all of that, minimize that. That is the second way you reduce your risk surface by doing that. So at least then you have slightly lesser problem to deal with. So that is the second thing, data minimization, and it could be followed by various other things in terms of what Pawan spoke about, privacy by design, and so many other things could follow data minimization. Third thing which someone can do is apply security safeguards. That is also one of the requirements. If you look at Rule 6 of the DPDP draft rules, it has a list of reasonable security safeguards. You can look at that rule. It talks about encryption, masking, anonymization, access management, and so on and so forth. Not very prescriptive, but at least there is a list to start with, that what you need to apply on personal data which is protected by DPDPA. So that is the third thing you can do, and that will ensure that you minimize even data breach and data breach incidents. You minimize various other non-compliances with the act. The fourth thing which you can do is looking at your data flow within the organization, from where data is coming, personal data is coming, where it is going, where it is getting shared, and also map all of that with your customer journeys, with your employee journeys, with your vendor journeys, and ensure that you have given right notices in line with DPDP Act, you have taken right consent, and that is what would help you in your any processing which you do. You would have at least a baseline to compare always whenever you are doing processing. So that's the fourth thing you can do. And the last and the final one is data, so far as when it is within your organization, within the boundaries of your network and your security parameters, you are able to very well protect that. You can think of whatever solutions you want to apply on that. As soon as it leaves your organization, your control becomes very, very less. And that is where data shared with third parties, that is one of the important things to consider. You can look at contractual protections, make them also liable for any non-compliances with the DPDP Act, if there is any breach happens on their side, or any non-compliances on their side. So contractual protections and ongoing governance on them in terms of assessments and overall monitoring on them. So these are some of the things which will help in coping up with the proliferation of the digital services and the personal data which has grown along with that.
Thank you, Samir. So now we'll move to Bhaskar. So there is a rise of the Mule accounts in banking. As per you, what are the effective countermeasures, if you can suggest? You might have seen so many Mule accounts, okay?
Good evening, everyone. This is a bit two-layer, basically. One is an operations side, another is a security side, basically. See, today, you see the kind of transactions are taking place today. The digitization has taken place. India today is contributing to 48.5% of world transactions, 48.5 transactions. And in that, if you see UPI, it's basically a revolution. The kind of transactions are taking place, even a small amount which are taking place in the UPI. Just scan it, make the payment, 20 rupees, 50 rupees. So generating huge data. So what hackers are doing, they are doing a lot of things. And they try to attack, steal the money, but they need some place to deploy the data, to deploy the money. So what they are doing nowadays, they open fake accounts. They might have stolen the data from one of the area, and they opened a fake account with the bank, and they deploy the money in that fake account. Or what is happening nowadays, even the legitimate account, they are trying to take over the legitimate account and use the legitimate account to transfer the funds. So these things are not only happening even in this scenario where they are hiring people who are having a legitimate account. They say, we give some commission to you, we use your account, we use the funds, and we transfer the fund to some other account. So these things are happening there. What they are giving commission, and if you talk about the daily wages and all these people, they are ready to do, they are ready to give their accounts. So such things are taking place in the current scenario, and it is becoming very difficult for the banks to actually detect these things. See, the transaction level is so huge, it is not possible for banks to actually, humanly it is not possible. So now what banks are doing, the regularly what we have to do, the regular KYC need to be done on a priority basis. At every interval, there's a KYC need to be done. There should be a biometric intervention, because without biometric, the KYC should not be done. The retina scan, when a customer is coming to bank for the KYC, retina can be scanned. You can actually use the government portals like Aadhaar and all. You link with Aadhaar enable, use those technique so that you can actually update your KYC with the original data. See, so many things are happening nowadays. It is difficult for the banks to actually track from where the fund is coming, from where the fund is going. So you need an AI solution for that, so that it can actually monitor the large amount in a small bit is coming to an account, and suddenly the amount is going out from the network. So such kind of solution is required in the network to actually track the entire system. You need to have a fraud risk management solution wherein the moment transaction is taking place, an alert should come that this transaction is happening from some remote area which doesn't belong to the customer. Because suppose if I'm in Mumbai, I'm doing a transaction mostly in Mumbai, and suppose suddenly some transaction is taking place somewhere in Bangalore, the automatic alert should come. This is not your area, whether you're doing this transaction or not. So such kind of things are required in the present scenario. And nowadays, if you see the government data itself, we have seen that the frauds which are taking, the cyber fraud is the increase fourfold actually. And such kind of scenario for the banking system, like what Prashant Mali just said, detecting is a very difficult task actually. So there are multiple layers are there we need to implement. Fraud risk management need to be implemented. The data must be classified properly. Whether if we are not using it, those things should be disabled for the time being. And automatically, suppose if you get an alert, then the account should be freeze for some certain period of time. Maybe for a temporary purpose, it should be freeze. So multiple layers are there, but it is a very difficult task for the banking industry as a whole, because the way transactions are taking place in the Mule account, particularly the elderly people you talk about, or the people who are daily wages, they have been targeted and use their account to deploy the funds and transfer the fund to outside. That is one major area, I think, and very difficult nowadays, which is happening.
Yeah, you are right. So now we'll move on to Ritesh. There is increasing of incidents response. Readiness is in a financial institution. If you can share some case study about the recent incidents response.
Okay, before I share a case study, after listening to Bhaskar, I need to understand, ये Mule accounts में percentage कितना मिलता है? मैं भी दूँ भाई? 20% तो है ना कम से कम. ठीक है, जिस हिसाब से 20-20 करोड़ जा रहे हैं लोगों के, तो डॉक्टर प्रशांत के भाई के इतने गए, उनके पास 25 करोड़ वाला भी केस है, तो 20% भी मिल गया म्यूल अकाउंट के लिए, काफ़ी हो गया सर. ओके, एनीवे, नाउ coming to the incident response and a case study, like I told at your last year's event also, and I tell at every event, ki it is not a matter of, if you will be hacked. It is a matter of when will you be hacked. Sabka katega. 100% sabka katega. Okay? And at that point of time, your incident readiness is, I have seen that for most of the organizations, it is pathetic. I mean, I would have done for hundreds of clients of mine, so my job becomes like finding out, okay, how did the hacker get into it? And most importantly, negotiating with the hacker, with the ransomware guy. Now, there are two things. Either you pay the money or you don't pay the money, correct? So, let's say the organization has decided to pay the money because they don't have the backup with them, which we have seen. हर जगह यही हाल है. आप बोलते हो बैकअप, like आप लोग इतना बड़ा इंफ्रा का इवेंट कर रहे हो, टॉकिंग अबाउट इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर एंड ऑल, But somewhere I have seen that no. If you have like 100 servers, 5 servers, 6 servers, which will be the most crucial, उसी का आपके पास बैकअप नहीं रहता है. पता नहीं उस टाइम पे किस्मत आपकी ही उतनी खराब क्यों हो जाती है वो टाइम पे कि वही जो मेन 6 थे वही गए. ऐसा नहीं कि कोई नल्ले 6 चले गए आपके. So once you decided, okay, I have to pay the money, you know, the board will tell me, okay, go ahead and pay. Firstly, before even going to the board, the major problem is you don't have that one person who can bring them all together. Firstly, a blame game happens. He will say, no, his responsibility. He will say his responsibility. ये सारे चीज़ों का कोई मतलब ही नहीं है. You really need to decide that at that point of time, like I always say, corporate communication is the most important thing at that point of time. You need one person from the corporate communication, not a CISO, not a consultant. You know, you need that one person who's going to manage the communication with everybody, including with me. Ki Ritesh, if you're talking to the hacker, you need to buy time, you need to find out this, but you can't use these words, you can't talk to them. So that is one thing that's most important. Second thing, most important, what I have realized is you need the lawyer. Because if you decide you don't want to pay, these guys are going to come and leak the news. Now bringing it down from the platforms, you know, where do they leak the news? It's just, you know, dark web, ठीक है, बोलने की बात होती है. They put it on the dark web. Each ransomware gang, they have their own .onion, which means the dark web links. They put it over there, then there are other companies which keep looking at the sites every day, and they will pick up the news and they will go and put it on the Twitter. Now, how do you bring it down from the Twitter? By the time I report, he reports, nothing will happen. Which is where the lawyer's role is most important, because he goes to the court, gets the court orders, that this is to do with the reputation and everything. So, you know, please bring it down. So, like in one of the cases, just happened few months back, the insurance company had got breached. They were ready with the legal part of it. Okay, if at all it comes, we will just bring it down. And that is exactly what they did. Now, even if you have decided, so this is when you've decided not to pay. But otherwise also, of course, a lawyer's role that time is important, because, you know, you have to even inform the regulators and so many other compliances which these people are the best at. Suppose now if you decide to pay, the readiness, everything, okay, you are ready with it. You say, okay, let us give him. Like in, you know, the last one I remember, I had to pay him some 7 bitcoins. I told the client, where are the bitcoins? Oh no, we will arrange it now. Arrange when? From where? भाई market में नहीं मिलता ऐसे तुम जाओगे बोलोगे 7 bitcoin. KYC है. Firstly, it's illegal. You're not supposed to pay. Here, okay, I'm talking about it because this is also one part of the reality, that people pay. What will small, medium businesses do? Even certain big businesses whose reputation is at stake, they have paid. I'm aware about it. It may be illegal as such, but people pay. But how will you get it? You can't buy from your, you know, Wazir X or this or that, a lot of KYC and other kind of things. Then the, you know, that FIU, the financial unit is also then monitoring and all that. So these are the things that you need to keep ready. We think, okay, the cyber insurance is there. Cyber insurance is there. But will he go and pay? Is he going to get the Bitcoin? He will say, okay, in case if something has gone wrong, this is where we compensate you. Of course, they don't compensate you for the Bitcoins and all that. So all, you know, these are the biggest things. We think about, and especially then when it comes on to the media, who's going to handle that particular part? There is a blame game. We saw in one of the recent, last year, what happened with one of the insurance companies. They said, okay, the CISO was framed about it. Everything is coming on the CISO. But actually the main decision has to be taken by the board. There needs to be that one particular person, the corporate communication person, who's going to handle, you know, whether it's me, it's the lawyer, it's the employees, because even the employees, they talk a lot about it outside. So whether they're supposed to talk, not to talk, so many times I get a restriction, no, why did you say this to the hacker? You're not supposed to say this to the hacker. So then what am I supposed to say? Who's going to tell me? CISO will tell me one thing, legal fellow will tell me one thing, board will say, why did you say that? What am I supposed to do? So you get that one particular person. So this is, you know, if we have to talk about the incident response, and you know, use the word readiness. No, you are never ready. You will never be ready. It's only when the incident will come, that is the time you will realize that this playbook is the most useless thing, because you're not even going to open it. I mean, just imagine in the family somebody comes, you don't create a playbook कि अगर a heart attack हुआ तो क्या करेंगे, ये करेंगे. You're not going to make a playbook of it. You just have to do, maybe once in a year, just do a tabletop exercise that, okay, this has happened. Have the board, have each and everybody ready. As if, like how you have a fire drill. It's a compulsory thing, right? Like if we are sitting in this hotel, it's compulsory that they go through the fire drill, which is a real thing actually that happens. So I think a tabletop exercise is most important thing. And as I told you, two people are extremely important for you. One is the soul, that corporate communication person. Second is the lawyer. See, I'm marketing for you. Okay? There's a lawyer. Okay? Huh?
I'm not giving you 20%.
Are that Bhaskar ji is there. I know.
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much.
Ritesh,
The bar is open.
Thank you, Ritesh. Now we have the
Just 1
experts
minute.
from the panel. I am sure that from audience they will have a question. We can take maximum 3 questions only to see the timing. Okay, please give the mic to him. 20%. Please.
Bhaskar ji, why do corporate banks fail? How can they open a fictitious account? You know PNC thing, what happened? 23,000 fictitious accounts were opened. HDL was a culprit. I've been instrumental in resolving that issue, so I am aware about it. It's always the cooperative banks which they fail. Do you think they can fail just like that only?
I think you should know the banking industry as a whole. When you talk about,
I know that that's the reason I'm asking you a question.
When you talk about a cooperative banking, see, problem is with the cooperative bank, if one incident takes place, take about one incident which happened with the New India, the entire industry got affected. But in other way, if you see, there are so many incidences in the public sector, in the private sector, I don't want to name any bank, one single KYC was attached to 40, 50, 200 accounts. It is in the public domain. Problem is that कि cooperative bank को सिर्फ target किया जाता है. Let me complete. It's not that, but if you see in a broader perspective, there are many incidents which are taking place in a larger scale. Small cooperative banks, how big it is? When you talk about my bank, I'm having around 18,500 crore business. So how big it is? When you talk about larger bank, so thousands of crores rupees, and we are nowhere near to that. See, I do agree there are certain things which belongs to cooperative bank because it is duly controlled by state, controlled by the center, and so many other things I don't want to disclose and talk here. But yes, in the entire banking arena, the KYC is one of the most important things which need to be done. It's not that only cooperative banks are opening. See, I'll tell you, when you go to remote area, I have traveled a lot. I travel to entire, most of the country wherever cooperative banks are. You go to remote area where DCCBs, state cooperative banks, small rural banks, they are giving support to the last person. They are not, the customer who is there, they are not going to the private bank or public sector bank, but this is the small cooperative bank who are helping those people. So it is not that only cooperative banks, it is, I can't say something on that, but definitely.
I would like to ask you further,
Sir,
it's
sir,
the
sir,
compliance.
We can take the next question offline. So can second question, please.
Sir, हो गया beer.
Yeah, please.
Question is to Advocate Prashant. Now, you said this greed is the base of this stock market scam. Now, if I am a greedy, but when I see this scam in the newspaper, this media, it comes since last 2 years. Every other days, this scam appear, and one person lose the crore. Since last 2 years, I'm seeing this thing. So even if I'm greedy, so all these people, this about say 50, 60 people must be in this scam. So all these people have not seen this type of scam is going on. So why they again and again they invest in the same thing?
So very good question. See, now what has happened, over awareness also creates issue. So see, it's like this. Psychologically, if you see, ad is daily coming, then you ignore the ad. It is simple, no? It's very psychological. Over awareness जब भी होता है, तभी a brain doesn't look at it. आजकल nowadays it has become like this. Second, third very important, second factor, sorry, not third. The second factor is मेरे साथ नहीं होगा. That's the best belief we have, you know, कि मेरे साथ नहीं होगा. I have a client who was a stockbroker. Can you imagine? उसी के साथ हुआ है. Okay. So, what worse you can think? And he gave me all the evidences, how he investigated first and then invested the money. So, they are so convincing to prop up all this, you know, websites, apps, उसमें logos, proper psychological study है. Okay, so cyber crime has no longer remained technical crime. It has become psychological crime. And AI is helping you. AI is aiding these cyber criminals to specifically target people. Now the days are going to be bad. Okay, now the days are going to be bad for banks also, because he was talking about KYC, video KYC. Now getting a video KYC via a deepfake video, online video has become much more simpler. So you have to face that. So remaining alert is the key now.
It's time to face off. So last question. Last question, anyone has the last question? Yeah, please.
See, the banks have to be taking even more precaution because of these kind of scams. So what can be done to change the policy or something within the banks?
Who will take the question?
Ideally a banker, but anybody you might want to.
Banker, okay. Bhaskar.
See, deepfake is one of the major concern for the banking industry. Whether it is relating to transaction, it is relating to KYC, everywhere it is. So time has come to revisit on the policies. Definitely it is there, because the kind of thing we need to do it. Still it is the early age, but we have to work on it, and definitely we have to change certain things. I would agree with you that we need to change the policies, and we need to do work on the KYC related very seriously, very seriously, because the way things are happening, it is we need to do that very seriously. And most importantly, as Prashant said, deep fake. Deep fake is definitely there, but when I said biometric, when I talked about e-KYC, when I talked about retina scanning, these things are definitely going to help. And most in the scenario, physical KYC definitely is going to go away in the later part, but definitely it will be going away. It will be basically everything will be online in a shorter period of time.
Thank you. Thank you. We can take offline because we have to maintain the time. Thank you very much.